Life begins when awareness begins. Until then, you are not living, you are only existing. The difference between existing and living is the difference between a body that breathes and a soul that awakens. God said, pay attention to these days. Why? Because these days, September 4, 5, and 6, are not ordinary. They are mirrors, they are teachers. They are reminders that the life you desire cannot come from the life you are living unconsciously. Everything you do, everything you think, everything you allow to pass through your mind without attention creates a future that you did not choose. And this is why so many people are frustrated, angry, bitter, and lost. They are living the result of choices they never consciously made. When you wake up without awareness, your day is controlled by habit. Your mind runs on old programming. Your emotions follow old triggers, and your actions follow old routines. It feels safe, it feels normal, but it leads nowhere new. And that is the danger, because comfort does not create growth. Repetition without awareness creates stagnation. That is why God said, be aware. He did not say it to make you fearful of these 3 days. He said it because these 3 days are a chance to wake up. They are a chance to see yourself clearly. They are a chance to choose who you want to become. Awareness is the foundation of destiny, because without awareness, your life is an accident. Without awareness, you become a victim of circumstances, a slave to impulses, and a prisoner of other people's expectations. Awareness is not something mystical. Awareness is simply paying attention to what is real, right now, in this moment. It is observing your thoughts and asking, why am I thinking this? It is noticing your emotions and asking, why am I feeling this way? It is looking at your habits and asking, are these habits serving me or destroying me? Without these questions, life controls you. With these questions, you begin to control life. On September 4, 5, and 6, the most powerful thing you can do is watch yourself. Not in judgment, but in observation. Because the truth is, most people are strangers to themselves. They know their name, their job, their age, but they do not know their mind. They do not know why they react the way they do. They do not know why they crave certain things. They do not know why they sabotage their own success. Awareness is the beginning of that knowledge. And when you know yourself, you cannot be manipulated by the world. You cannot be trapped by fear. You cannot be controlled by negativity, because you see it coming. You see it rise within you, and the moment you see it, you are free. Understand this. Nothing can change in your life until you become aware of it. You cannot change what you do not notice. You cannot fix what you do not acknowledge. You cannot transform what you do not see. That is why awareness is the first step to everything. People ask for success, but they are not aware of the beliefs that block them. People ask for peace, but they are not aware of the thoughts that disturb them. People ask for love, but they are not aware of the wounds that push it away. God does not withhold these things from you. You withhold them from yourself by refusing to see the truth. Awareness is not comfortable because it forces you to face yourself. It forces you to look at your patterns, your fears, your excuses, and your lies. But that discomfort is the doorway to freedom. That is why most people avoid awareness. They do not want to see the truth. But remember this, the truth will set you free, but first it will make you uncomfortable. On these 3 days, practice awareness like it is your only mission. When you wake up on the 4th, before you touch your phone, before you look at the world, sit in silence and ask yourself, what is the first thought in my mind? Do not judge it, just notice it, because that thought will set the tone for your day. If it is negative, you will unconsciously carry that negativity into everything you do. If it is hopeful, you will carry that hope. But you will never know unless you look. That is why awareness is so powerful. It gives you the ability to choose differently. If your first thought is fear, you can replace it with faith. If your first thought is anger, you can replace it with gratitude. If your first thought is doubt, you can replace it with confidence, but only if you notice it. Otherwise, the thought becomes your master. When you eat on these 3 days, eat with awareness. Most people eat without tasting, without gratitude, without thought. They eat because they are bored, because they are stressed, because it is a habit. But food is energy, and energy affects your mind. Ask yourself, am I eating to nourish my body or to numb my emotions? Awareness turns a simple act like eating into a spiritual practice. When you speak, be aware of your words. Words are seeds, and seeds grow into trees. If you plant anger, you will harvest conflict. If you plant love, you will harvest harmony. Most people speak without awareness. They gossip, they complain, they criticize. And then they wonder why their life is full of negativity. Awareness stops that cycle. When you catch yourself speaking something destructive, pause. Ask, do I want to give life to this? Awareness gives you the power to stop before you plant poison in your future. When you work, be aware of your intention. Why are you doing what you are doing? Most people work out of fear. Fear of poverty, fear of judgment, fear of failure. Few people work out of love. Love for growth, love for contribution, love for mastery. Awareness of intention changes everything, because intention shapes energy, and energy shapes results. If you work in fear, your energy is heavy, your mind is restless, your creativity is blocked. If you work in love, your energy is light, your mind is clear, your creativity flows. On these 3 days, ask yourself, why am I doing this? If the answer is fear, change it. Shift it to love. This is the spiritual training that awareness gives you. God said these 3 days are special because they are checkpoints. They are not random. They are moments where life will show you exactly where you are. It will not show you with words. It will show you with situations. Someone might trigger your anger. Do you react or respond? That is awareness. Someone might test your patience. Do you rush or breathe? That is awareness. An opportunity might appear. Do you see it or miss it? That is awareness. Every event in these 3 days is a mirror reflecting your level of consciousness. If you pay attention, you will learn more about yourself in these 3 days than in 3 months of living unconsciously. But you must be awake. You must be present. You must be aware. Awareness is not about control. It is not about suppressing your emotions or forcing positivity. It is about seeing reality as it is. When you are aware, you see anger rise like a wave, and you choose not to drown in it. You see fear whisper, and you choose not to obey it. You see doubt knock, and you choose not to open the door. Awareness does not stop the storm, it stops you from becoming the storm. That is true power. That is inner strength. And that is what these days are training you to master. Remember this, awareness creates destiny, because every choice you make is born in a moment of awareness or a moment of unconsciousness. If you are unconscious, you will repeat yesterday. If you are aware, you will create tomorrow. On September 4, 5, and 6, life is inviting you to create a tomorrow that is better than today. But the invitation will not scream. It will whisper. It will come in the quiet voice that says, pause. Look, notice. Will you hear it? Or will you be too busy? Will you open your eyes? Or will you stay asleep? The choice is yours. God gave you these days as a gift. Do not waste them. Live them awake. Live them aware. Because when you live aware, you live aligned. And when you live aligned, nothing can stop you from becoming who you were created to be. Pressure is a strange thing. Some people run from it. Some people complain about it. But very few people understand that pressure is a blessing. God did not design life to be effortless, because an effortless life produces a powerless soul. If everything came easy, you would never grow. If everything was comfortable, you would never discover your strength. God said these 3 days, September 4, 5, and 6, are not just days on a calendar. They are training grounds. They are moments where the heat will rise, the weight will press, and you will be tempted to quit. But do not quit. Because pressure is not here to break you. Pressure is here to reveal you. It is here to show you what is inside of you that you never knew existed. Think about the diamond. Everyone admires its beauty. Everyone loves its brilliance, but no one loves the process that created it. A diamond begins as a piece of coal, ordinary, dark, unremarkable. But what transforms coal into a diamond? Pressure, heat, time. Without pressure, coal remains coal forever. Without intensity, there is no transformation. And so it is with you. You admire people who are strong, people who are wise, people who radiate peace. You look at them and think, they are different from me. But the truth is, they went through pressure that you did not see. They faced storms you did not feel. They endured seasons that could have broken them. But they did not break. They grew. They evolved. They turned their pain into power. And that same possibility lives in you. The challenge is that, when pressure comes, most people see it as a punishment instead of a preparation. They ask, why is this happening to me? Instead of asking, what is this teaching me? The question you ask shapes the life you live. If you see pressure as punishment, you will resist it, you will fear it, you will hate it. And in doing so, you will miss its gift. But if you see pressure as preparation, everything changes. You embrace it, you learn from it, you grow through it, and that growth makes you unstoppable. When you look at your life, what were the moments that changed you the most? Were they moments of comfort or moments of challenge? Were they moments where everything was easy or moments where everything was falling apart? Growth does not come from the easy. Growth comes from the heavy, and yet we pray for an easy life. We pray for no struggles. We pray for no storms. But God does not give us an easy life because He loves us too much to leave us weak. A weak life cannot handle big blessings. A weak soul cannot carry a big purpose. That is why pressure comes, to build you into someone strong enough to carry the weight of what is coming. On these 3 days, you might feel that weight. You might face something that shakes your routine, something that makes you uncomfortable, something that tests your patience. Do not see it as random. It is not an accident. It is part of the design. God is preparing you for something greater than your current capacity. And the only way to expand capacity is through pressure. You do not become patient by avoiding frustration. You become patient by enduring it without losing your peace. You do not become courageous by avoiding fear. You become courageous by walking through fear, even when your knees are trembling. You do not become strong by avoiding resistance. You become strong by pushing against it until it no longer pushes you. Pressure has another purpose. It reveals what is real. When life squeezes you, what comes out? If there is bitterness inside, pressure will bring it out. If there is faith inside, pressure will bring it out. That is why challenges are not here to destroy you. They are here to show you who you are. And if you do not like what you see, that is good news, because you can change it. Awareness of weakness is the first step to strength. But you will never know what is inside you until life applies pressure. Do not confuse pressure with punishment. Punishment looks backward. It is about what you did. Pressure looks forward. It is about who you can become. Punishment comes to hurt you. Pressure comes to build you. Punishment is about justice. Pressure is about preparation. When you understand this, you stop running from hard seasons. You stop complaining when things get heavy. Instead, you say, "Thank you, God, for trusting me with this challenge. Thank you for believing I am strong enough to grow through this." Because if it was too much for you, it would not come to you. God does not waste pain. Every struggle is a seed of strength. Every battle is a birth of a better version of you. Pressure also creates clarity. When everything is easy, you can afford to be distracted. You can afford to waste time. You can afford to play small. But when the pressure is on, you focus. You prioritize. You discover what truly matters. That is why sometimes life will shake you, not to break you, but to wake you. to remind you that time is short, that excuses are useless, that the dream you keep delaying will not wait forever. Pressure strips away the unnecessary so that the essential can shine. It removes what is fake so that what is real can remain. During these 3 days when the weight comes, and it will, breathe. Do not panic. Do not fight the process. Let the pressure shape you. Let it teach you discipline. Let it teach you resilience. Let it teach you patience. Do not waste your energy asking, when will this end? Use your energy to ask, what is this building in me? Because the truth is, the pressure may not end quickly. Some challenges are not short-term, they are long-term seasons. But that is okay, because every day you endure, you become stronger. Every moment you stay standing, you become unshakable. And when the season finally ends, you will not be the same person who entered it. You will be wiser. You will be deeper. You will be unbreakable. Do not compare your pressure with someone else's. Everyone's process is different. Everyone's weight is different, because everyone's calling is different. If your purpose is great, your pressure will be great. If your destiny is heavy, your training will be heavy. Stop asking why their life looks easier. You do not know their story. You do not know their future. Focus on your own journey. Trust that every ounce of pressure you feel is perfectly measured for your growth. God does not apply unnecessary weight. He gives just enough to stretch you, never enough to destroy you. It feels hard now, but one day you will thank Him. One day you will look back and say, if I had not gone through that, I would not be who I am today. Pressure also teaches humility. It reminds you that you are not in control of everything. It teaches you to surrender. And surrender is not weakness, surrender is wisdom. It is the recognition that some battles are not yours to fight alone. Pressure will push you to your knees so that you finally look up. It will silence your pride so that you finally listen. It will strip your illusions so that you finally see. And when you see clearly, you understand the same God who allowed the pressure will provide the strength to endure it. He will not leave you alone in the fire. He will walk with you through it. But He will not remove it too soon, because He knows what it is doing inside you. Trust His timing. Trust His process. So when you feel the heat these 3 days, smile. When you feel the weight, breathe. When you feel the storm, stand. Tell yourself, this is not breaking me. This is building me. Repeat it until you believe it. Because the moment you change your perspective, the pressure loses its power to crush you. Instead, it becomes the power that carries you to your next level. And one day, when people see your strength, your peace, your wisdom, they will call you lucky. They will call you blessed. But you will know the truth. It was pressure. It was the struggle. It was the nights you cried, the days you wanted to quit, the moments you felt alone. But you did not give up. That is what made you who you are. Remember this, every blessing you dream of carries a weight. If you cannot handle pressure, you cannot handle power. If you cannot handle stress, you cannot handle success. The weight comes before the reward. The storm comes before the sunrise. The fight comes before the victory. Do not run from it. Do not resent it. Embrace it. Because pressure does not destroy what is strong. It only destroys what is weak. And you, my friend, are stronger than you think. You just need the right amount of pressure to prove it. To yourself and to the world. The world will always tell you to move faster, to hurry, to chase, to run. Society rewards speed, praises urgency, and celebrates the hustle. But in that constant rush, something essential is lost. Your peace, your clarity, your ability to hear the quiet voice inside you. God said, "Be still and know that I am with you." He did not say, "Run harder and you will find me." He said, "Be still." Because stillness is where power lives. Stillness is where clarity comes. Stillness is where you return to yourself. On September 4, 5, and 6, you will feel the pull of the world. The notifications, the obligations, the noise. It will all try to pull you away from yourself. But these days are an invitation to step out of the storm and into the silence, an invitation to discover the strength that does not come from doing more, but from being fully present. Because the truth is, most people are exhausted not because of what they do, but because of what they carry. They carry thoughts about the past, fears about the future, and judgments about themselves. Their mind never rests. Even when their body is still, their mind is running. And that is why they are tired, anxious, and overwhelmed. Stillness is the cure. Stillness does not mean doing nothing. Stillness means doing one thing fully. When you eat, just eat. When you breathe, just breathe. When you sit, just sit. Most people never do this. They eat while scrolling. They walk while worrying. They talk while thinking of what to say next. They are everywhere except here. And life only exists here. Power only exists here. Peace only exists here. You cannot find peace in the past because the past is gone. You cannot find peace in the future because the future is not real yet. Peace lives in the present, and stillness is the doorway. Why is stillness power? Because stillness allows you to see clearly. When the water is disturbed, it is cloudy. You cannot see the bottom. But when the water becomes still, everything becomes clear. Your mind is the same. When it is disturbed by thoughts, by fears, by noise, you cannot see truth. You cannot hear wisdom. You cannot feel God's presence. But when you become still, the noise fades and the truth appears. Most of your problems are not real problems. They are problems created by a restless mind. A restless mind magnifies small issues, invents fears, and creates suffering. But in stillness, you see that most of those problems do not even exist. They are illusions. They lose their power the moment you stop feeding them attention. Stillness is also strength because it gives you control over yourself. Anyone can act out of impulse. Anyone can react in anger. Anyone can panic in chaos. That is weakness. Strength is staying calm when everything around you is shaking. Strength is breathing when fear tells you to run. Strength is pausing when your emotions tell you to explode. And that strength only comes through the practice of stillness. You cannot expect to be calm in the storm if you never practice calm in the silence. Just like a warrior trains before battle, you must train your mind before life tests you, and stillness is that training. On these 3 days, make stillness your practice. Not for hours, but for moments. Before you check your phone in the morning, sit for 2 minutes and just breathe. No agenda, no expectation. Just watch your breath. Watch your thoughts come and go like clouds in the sky. Do not hold them. Do not fight them. Just watch. That simple practice will change everything. Because in those 2 minutes, you are reminding yourself that you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them. You are the sky, not the clouds. The clouds will pass, the sky remains. And when you realize this, nothing can control you. Not fear, not anger, not doubt. Because you know they are temporary. You know they are just weather, not the truth. Stillness is not weakness. Do not confuse stillness with passivity. Stillness is the foundation of effective action. When you act from a restless mind, your actions are scattered, reactive, chaotic. You make mistakes. You waste energy. But when you act from stillness, your actions are precise, intentional, powerful. You say the right word. You make the right move. You choose the right path. Why? Because you are acting from clarity, not confusion. This is why the greatest warriors, the greatest leaders, the greatest masters all practice stillness. They meditate, they breathe, they retreat. Because they know the battle is not out there. The battle is in here, and the one who conquers their own mind conquers the world. Stillness is also connection. When you are still, you connect with yourself. You hear your own voice instead of the world's noise. You feel what you truly want instead of what others expect. You remember who you are instead of who you pretend to be. And more than that, you connect with God. Because God does not shout. God whispers. And you cannot hear a whisper if your life is too loud. Most people say, God does not speak to me. But God is speaking. The problem is not his silence. The problem is your noise. If you want to hear him, you must become still. That is why these 3 days are so important. They are a chance to pause, to listen, to receive guidance that will not come through rushing, but through resting in his presence. Stillness is also healing. Stress is not in your job, your family, your situation. Stress is in your mind. It is the constant movement, the constant worry, the constant resistance to what is. Stillness ends that resistance. It says, this moment is enough. I am enough. Life is enough. And in that acceptance, peace flows, healing flows, your nervous system calms, your body relaxes, your mind clears. Most illnesses today are not physical, they are the result of a restless, overworked, overstimulated mind. Stillness is the medicine. But like all medicine, you must take it daily for it to work. You cannot expect peace if you never practice it. You cannot expect clarity if you never sit in silence. You cannot expect strength if you never train your mind to be still. On September 4, 5, and 6, the world will demand your attention. People will pull you. Problems will chase you. Notifications will try to own you, but you have a choice. You can live like everyone else, always busy, always rushing, always distracted. Or you can live differently. You can pause, you can breathe, you can reclaim your power. Every time you feel overwhelmed, stop for 30 seconds and take 3 slow breaths. That is stillness. Every time you feel anger rising, close your eyes and count to 10 before you speak. That is stillness. Every time your mind starts racing, put your hand on your heart and say, be here now. That is stillness. Small practices, big changes. And here is the secret: stillness will not just make these 3 days peaceful. It will change your whole life, because stillness trains you to live in the present. And the present is where life happens. Anxiety lives in the future. Regret lives in the past. But joy lives here. Love lives here. God lives here. When you live in stillness, you stop missing your life. You stop running from yourself. You stop chasing happiness and start experiencing it. That is power. That is freedom. Do not wait for the world to get quiet before you find stillness. The world will never get quiet. There will always be noise. There will always be chaos. You must create stillness inside you. Be the calm in the storm. Be the silence in the noise. Be the mountain that does not move when the wind blows. That is real strength. Anyone can stay calm when life is easy. True mastery is staying calm when life is hard. And that mastery is possible for you. It begins with one breath, one pause, one moment of awareness. Do that today, do it tomorrow, do it the next day. And soon, stillness will not be something you practice. It will be who you are. Because when you live in stillness, you live in power. And when you live in power, nothing outside you can shake you. Not fear, not failure, not the storms of life. You will walk through them like a warrior, not because the storm is weak, but because your mind is stronger. That is the gift of stillness. That is the invitation of these days. Take it, live it, and watch how everything changes.